Hello, 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 everybody. Good afternoon. It's been what? Probably 6 weeks, if not more,
Well,
since we had our special guest on this live video. I personally miss her so much. I still see her in the background, but I miss her an awful lot. And I'm really excited that after the long break, our prodigal mother, big sister, small sister, cousin, friend, everything. She's back in the house again after all this while. Ikwamwa, we missed you so much. Welcome back.
thank you. Thank you. I missed everybody, and I also missed our Sunday afternoon sessions. And I'm really, really happy that the summer is over and we can finally come back.
Yeah, so we're back in the house. I want to say a big thank you to our sister. It's not that easy for somebody to love you that much and to keep coming back week after week after week after week, month after month. We sit here and we hope that, we don't just come and sit here and chit chat and go, but it's actually changing lives. That's what we actually want to see. We want this to be a proper positive influence in your life where you're changing your mindset, your way of doing things, and all of that. And it's actually transforming the way you do things. Before I give the platform to my sister to pour out all that she's got in her, you don't think that she's come back the same person. There's some more, dunamis kind of power and some different things that this girl has come back with.
We
That she's kind of
almost,
she's come back fortified to pour to all of us today. Please like, share, follow both platforms, Facebook, YouTube. If you're not doing this, you don't love us too much. So how can you claim to be here and be learning so much and not, show us the love that you're loving us by doing the simplest of things to support this platform? Even if you're replaying, please share the video on your personal profile page. Somebody is also learning something valuable from you. I'll get my sister to give us the details of her handles. But one of the things that my sister is very, very passionate about and influences the way she speaks is the youth, the children that we have, the young people that are the next generation. What legacy are we creating for them? There's so many lost people, young people who don't have people to talk to, and they get into wrong hands. And so, because of that, my sister is really big on science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and now art as well. Okay? STEAM, not STEM, STEAM.
now we are doing Steam. Yes. Yes.
So now we're into STEAM,
Steam.
right? And my sister has a nonprofit, AEJF, which is big on dealing with children into young adults and really training them. The Bible says, teach them the way they should go so they don't depart from that. And so we're using science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and art to guide these children to become responsible, groundbreaking future leaders in this area, because we as people of color, we don't tend to go that way, but helping them and guiding them to become influential people as the next generation. If you haven't followed, subscribe to AEJF, please go to that platform on Facebook and like, follow, share all the amazing things. And if you've got young children that can benefit from any of the programs that she handles, please enroll your children. They are our future. So without waffling on too much, Ekuamu, I'll give the platform to you. I'll chip in here and there as we go. But welcome today. We're talking about friendships and influence from children, from adults, different perspectives. The floor is yours, darling.
Thank you, Sika. First of all, I just want to thank everyone. I want to give a special shout out to Antia for all her support when we did, and all the people that came out to support us when we did our first ever T for STEM event. I also want to appreciate you, Sika, for coming out, supporting, advertising. I also really want to give a special shout out to Choco Millionaire. He's really done amazing things. He doesn't know me. I don't know him from Noah. I don't really know, but he and somehow keep somehow shares our content on our nonprofit page. That shows that he's someone who believes in the future of our children. I also want to give a special shout out to the Ghana Consulate General here in Calgary, Honorable Margaret Edu. And I also want to give a shout out to uh, Dr. Charles Odami, Ghana Association President. He came out and he supported us. And I'm just using this platform. If you're in Calgary and you're listening to us, please give a shout out to all these people for me. I really appreciate them and the drive that they have for the future of our children.
Mm.
And just want to thank everyone, please continue to support us, continue to support Sika. Okay. I really want you guys to support. We are here to educate, we are here to transform change. Okay. We're here to make sure that we all succeed. Okay. I was listening to someone's podcast the other day. My sister shared just a little clips of it, and it says that Black people hold only 1% of the world's wealth.
Wow.
All the riches on this earth, we only own only 1%.
Wow.
That means that will like, and that means that only you only have 1 in 9 chances of becoming a millionaire as a Black person.
Mm.
That is a sad case of affairs. We come from a continent that's rich in every mineral on earth, right? So there are so many things. You can have the raw materials, but if you don't have the knowledge and the technology and the ability for you to take the resource that you have to make it useful and provide a product that people would admire and people would desire to use or is useful, it is useless. But that's just something on the side. So this afternoon we're here to talk about friendship and how friendship really influences all of us. And I just want to really talk about when we talk about friendship, how do you define your friendship? How do you define friendship in your
Mm.
own life as a mother, as a
Mm.
father, as a
Mm.
husband, as a wife,
Yeah.
and as a young adult, right? Because I don't think we probably will not have like young, very young people listening to us, but I just want us to really take a few seconds, pause, and think who do you call your friend?
Hmm.
And what type of friends do you have?
Mm.
Do your friends have, when you see your friends or when you meet them or when you associate with them, what do you guys talk about? What do you discuss?
Mm.
And when your friend calls you and says, Sika, how is that call? Is that call only coming once in the blue moon? Is that friend calling only when they need something?
Mm.
Right? Because they can call you every day. But what is the intention behind the call? So I want all of us to really ponder on all of these questions,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's important that we understand that our destinies are tied in the types of friendship that we make,
True.
the type of friendship that we keep,
That's right.
and the kind of friendship that we continue to build on.
Mm.
So it's important this afternoon for all of us to really have this sovereign moment. But before we dig deep into it, I made some notes
Mm-hmm.
on, you know, why we need friends, right? Why do we need friends?
Mm.
Friendship in itself, having friends in your life actually enriches your life
Yeah.
and it actually helps improve your health.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying you shouldn't have friends.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand that the purpose of friendship is to enrich your life
Correct.
and to improve your health.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to ask yourself, are my friendship improving my life?
Mm-hmm.
And is it improving my health?
Mm-hmm.
The second point is friendship is supposed to increase your sense of belonging
Mm.
and your purpose.
Mm.
Have you been able, and this is the last quarter of the year. So I want everybody to examine themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The friendship you've made this year, has it led to you increasing your sense of belonging?
Mm.
And has it increased to your sense of purpose?
Mm.
All the goals that you set up this year, the
Mm.
many things that you wrote down as your New Year resolution, has your friendship been able to bring about any of those goals, accomplishing any of those goals, and accomplishing
Mm.
any of those purpose?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a question that I also want you to ponder on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Friendship is supposed to boost your happiness and reduce stress.
Mm-hmm.
When you meet your friends, are you happy? When you meet them, is your blood pressure going up? Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we always think about, oh, friendship is what we always talk about some of these things only when we are talking about relationship as husband and wife, or when someone is in a courtship or boyfriend girlfriend relationship. But today I'm here to talk about friendship.
Mm.
I'm here to talk about friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Do your friends boost your happiness?
Mm.
Do they reduce your stress?
Mm.
Friendship is supposed to increase your self-confidence,
Mm.
self-worth. Are your friendship improving your self-confidence?
Mm.
Are they increasing your self-worth?
Mm.
That is a question I want all of us to answer this afternoon.
Mm.
And I'm going to be taking all of these things one by one.
Mm-hmm.
When we look at friendship, the Bible says that I think a friend is born for a day of adversity. I forgot the verse properly. Okay, when it comes to me, I will say it. But really, literally, it says that you have your brothers and sisters all the time, but your friend is born for a day of adversity. But one thing I want everybody to answer or ponder on and think about: you have a friend,
Yeah.
and the only time they call you is when they need something,
Mm.
or you have a friend, everything is all about them.
Mm.
They cannot even celebrate you.
Mm.
If they are not being celebrated, then it's going to be misery all around. Is that person enriching your life?
Mm.
Is that person there to help you fulfill your purpose? Because when we see the friendship between David and Jonathan, when David was in the place, when Jonathan knew that his dad wanted to eliminate David, what did
Mm.
he do? He did whatever he can to protect
Mm.
his friend. Does your
Correct.
friend protect you,
Mm.
or did they endanger you?
Mm.
Because there's some friends that we think that they have our best interests at heart, but they only have their own best interests at heart. Okay? The friend will be like, oh, come with me, let's go to this party. There's some guy that's interested in you. Come and let's go. You go, and she probably just taking you to pawn you off to the guy
Mm-hmm.
for what she can gain,
Mm-hmm.
right? All
Yeah.
the many things that is happening. I was at a conference on Tuesday, and the speaker that was talking, we were talking about safety when it comes to the children and high school and stuff. And he was talking about this whole new thing called phenomenon called the Romeo boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
The Romeo boyfriend, as he discussed to us, was a young man that picks a young girl from high school or college, a vulnerable, he picks up a very vulnerable girl and then makes her feel like she's loved, buys her all these nice things, buy her iPhone and everything. And really, the goal is for him to traffic her and also use her to traffic her own friends. So what he would do is he will now use her to say, "Oh, invite this your friend, invite your friends, and then come, let's go here." And then you two, they'll invite your daughter. What else? Oh, my friend is having a party, and you the mother, you already know this child, like they are friends, And then they take your child, your daughter, or your son, to this party because you're familiar, right, with your friend. You're familiar with the friend's mom or the
Mm-hmm.
parents. But
Mm-hmm.
when they go, it's all to go from hotel rooms to another hotel rooms. By
Mm.
the time your child realized that's what they've done,
Mm.
trafficked. So what type of friend? Some of us adults, you know, your friend, you're in a committed relationship, you're this and that. Your friend will start putting words into your head, right? Things that you're not supposed to do. The time you're stepping outside of your marriage, doing things that you're not supposed to do. Is that friend enriching your life? You know, how are your friendship? You say, "Oh, Sika, I want to go to school. This factory job, I'm so tired of it. All this hustle and bustle. I finished Form 4. In fact, I even finished university. And I think that this Canada, I can possibly go do 1 or 2 courses." Oh, don't go to school. If you go to school, who's going to pay your bills? If you go to school, how is you and husband going to pay your mortgage? Has your friend been able to allow you to fulfill your purpose?
Mm.
Sometimes some of these friendship, it's your spouse friend who influences your spouse. Don't allow your wife to go to school. If she goes to school now, she's going to sit on your neck. If she goes to school now, she will make more money than you.
Mm-hmm.
What type of friend?
Mm.
Your self-confidence.
Mm.
What type of friend? So it's important that we understand.
Mm.
So, oh, they'll come and tell you, "Oh, me, I have house, I have land, I have this." Then they will start, bragging and doing all these sort of things. And then you look at yourself and then you begin to doubt your self-worth. Meanwhile, what they're saying is not even true. You doubt your self-worth, you doubt who you are, you doubt, as for me, what have I accomplished? What has my husband accomplished? What has my children accomplished? They
Mm-hmm.
make you doubt your self worth, what you are capable of doing.
Mm.
I want you to ask yourself, what type of friend do I have?
Very good opening. Very good opening. I want to read what Solomon put here. He says, I don't have a lot of friends. 10 years ago, I went to a game with a friend who was supposed to pay for me while we play. That is what we agreed on, and I usually pay for him. But on that particular day, I told him I had no money. Since I always paid for him, he told me he would do the same for me this time. But after the game, his friend did not pay, and because of that, they stripped him naked, and he was 15 at the time, and he can never forget that day or get it out of his head. And he left him there. So if these people had lynched him to death because he hadn't paid, because of one following that he followed his friend, he lost his life. He lost his life. When you talked about this topic, when we discussed it behind closed doors, and we agreed that this was what we were going to talk about, I got goosebumps all over, because it's like from the time that we had to separate and you went away. We all had things doing, and our sister wasn't here with us. I'm calling her prodigal girl when we laughed about it. But in all of those times, a lot of things have happened in both of our lives that have brought us to this topic. And as you were talking, the first thing that came to my mind about friendship, I'll say this and I'll give this back to you because we'll be going back and out, in and out of this, is that who is your friend? The first word that came to my mind is confidant. A lot of people have lost valuable things because of one mouse that they couldn't keep quiet. They couldn't zip that mouse. They went to tell the wrong person, give the wrong person personalized information about yourself, which they went to tell other people or use to harm you and bring to your destruction. One quietness that you couldn't keep quiet. This is why my sister is saying, who are your friends? Who are the people you call friends? Some of us, we can't just be by ourselves. Like, you're so used to having noise around you all the time. And so you can't just be quiet, like just have time and just spend time by yourself. For me, for example, because of the life that I had, some of the shortcomings that I faced in my own life, I didn't grow up having a lot of friends. In the teenage years, when other people were out there, you go shopping. That's when you form your character. You have friends, you go shopping, you're learning how to become independent. Today, I look at myself and sometimes I feel like I've lost out on life. I didn't get the opportunity to do the things that other people did in their teenage years. But I've matured past that to realize that, maybe all of these things that prevented me from being able to explore my youthful age with my friends, God was keeping me, was hiding me where he hid me at that time. Who knows who I would have picked up at that time and called a friend. A lot of us, when we get into those teenage years, the peer pressure is so much that you even forget the things that your parents have tried to instill in you over the years. Don't drink. Don't do this. When somebody says something to you and it doesn't make sense, don't do it. But because everybody around you is doing it and you don't want to feel like you're the odd one out, if I do it, people are going to say I'm weird. What is this colloquial thing you're doing? So you follow through and you do it. Everybody is having a puff, so let me have some of that puff. Do you know what is in this puff? Meth is what is taking a lot of our young people out today. Meth is what is taking a lot of our young people out these days, and it's easy to lace it. These medications are supposed to be for people who are sick, but today these things are being used, laced into other things. You take it and you lose your being here. So the question is, who are you confiding in? Who is this person that you've idolized so much? You want to be like them. You want to do everything like them. They're saying something. You know it in your deep within yourself. You know it deep down that it doesn't make sense. It doesn't sit well with you, but you're still doing it because you don't want to be the one that is left out. I'll end this confidence thing by saying, there were two friends, Ikuamua, who lived together in one house. Like you rent a 2-bedroom apartment. They have one room, you have the other. You've grown up, you've known each other for years, and you now live abroad. One of the girls had a boyfriend. The other hadn't met anyone yet. She had just broken off her previous relationship. These people were in their late 20s, early 30s. So they went to a party. And the one who was gnashing finally got a boyfriend too. So now they all have boyfriends. The one who had the boyfriend first, she had a man in her life, but her relationship was something, which is it's not really good, but she was managing it. But the girl who went to the party met a great guy, somebody that, loved her and doted on her so much. Because they talk about everything, like sisters would do to each other. What happened? The sister who got the boyfriend last was feeding the one who had the boyfriend first with all the information about her boyfriend, how much he loves her, how much he dotes on her, and gives her everything that she has and everything. It so happens that the boyfriend was trying to surprise the girl who had the boyfriend last by coming there unannounced without telling her she was coming. But last minute, the girl got a shift. She's a nurse. And so she went to pick the shift without even having the time to call the boyfriend to say, I'm leaving home. So the guy comes and the other girl is in the house. She invites him in. He comes to sit down. And now she spends the next 2 hours spoiling, completely destroying her friend's character to their new boyfriend so that the boyfriend will leave her. The boy was so shocked that he recorded part of their conversation. He left, he went home. And when he knew that the girlfriend would come back from work, he called her and said, Are you home? He said, Yes. I'm not going to come inside the house. I'm parked down the street. Come out. We need to go sit down and talk. When they sat down, he played the video, the recording to the friend, the girlfriend, and said, This is what your friend had to say about you. All the ex-relationships they had talked about, everything, just anything, and then lied, added some and lied so that the man would leave and then she could take over. And this is somebody she had known from infancy. They went to the same primary school in Ghana and had ended up abroad together. Who is your confidant? And it goes hand in hand with asking for the spirit of discernment. This person that seems so good, is he really truly good? Because there's no art to tell the mind's construction in the face. The person smiling, laughing, doing things that are seemingly good does not mean it actually is good. And it takes the Holy Spirit convicting you. This person, whenever I'm around him, my skin starts itching me. I don't feel comfortable. It is time for you to work on. Ekwamo, the floor is yours.
Well, those are things that happen all the time, right? But what I really wanted to touch on, I want to touch on is that the person seems so good, right? And this actually ties back into this whole Romeo boyfriend thing. Okay. Where the guy provides everything the girl needs, and the girl now pass on those so good, nice goodies to her own friends to make it easy for them to also want to have all those nice things. And I remember the guy when he was talking to us, he was talking about, buying her the latest iPhone, buying her the latest what do you call it? Um the latest handbag that is brand that everybody's carrying, right? So that the other girls will all be like that. So that also brings us to my next point. A friend who is jealous of what you have.
Mm. Mm.
A friend who is jealous of what you have. I remember many years ago there was a time one of our very close friends was getting married. And as everybody was busy, like, everybody's trying to do something. Those who are cooking are cooking, those who are cleaning, those who are doing this. And in those times, it's not like today that now people go and get professional makeups done and all those things. In those, as you see that someone is getting married and your friend is getting married, there's always that type of friend who wants to make sure they look much more prettier than the bride. You have to be wary of such friends. You have to, because they cannot step low for you to be celebrated. On your day of celebration, they also want to get noticed. So you have to be very, very careful. Sometimes you'll be like, oh, but you think they are so nice. They buy you nice gifts. They're doing this for you. They're doing that for you. You got to be worried of those things, friends. They are jealous of you. Small, small things, small jealousy that you easily brush it off, right? You easily brush it off. Such friendship is going to lead you to your destruction. Jealousy.
Hmm.
And sometimes they might not exhibit jealousy towards you, but you yourself, as you're working with them, you see that they are jealous of somebody else and what the person has. Somebody
Hmm.
has a boyfriend, they will say, "Oh, look at even their boyfriend. Look at the guy. His head is crooked, his neck is broken. Look at how he dresses." You know, they start undermining. Remember, I talk about what? Self worth. They start shaming people, whether through body shaming or whether through the way the person dresses or how the person keeps themselves. We all cannot be looking perfect,
No.
but it's important that we understand that such things. We always talk about, oh, the red flags in a relationship. This is the red flag in friendship because people have done bad things to their friends.
Hmm.
Some have gone to the extent of taking their own friend's identity.
Oh yes. Mhm.
Some have gone to the extent of stealing their friends' children.
Yeah.
So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. And as Sika was talking about, some of the things that is happening with young ones out there, you know, mothers, fathers, be careful of your friends you allow in your house.
Hmm.
Some of them are predators posing as friends.
Hmm.
That uncle, that
Hmm.
auntie
Hmm.
coming to your house.
Hmm.
Somebody was telling me of a story about how the, someone found out that their own friend was sleeping with their 16-year-old.
Hmm. Hmm.
Their own friend
Hmm. Hmm.
was sleeping with their 16-year-old.
I can't believe it. Hmm.
What type of friend are you allowing in your house to be around your children during uncle and auntie?
Hmm.
I'm talking to immigrants here.
Hmm.
I'm talking to us immigrants here
Hmm. Hmm.
because you want to. That is why, especially that's why, and you know me, I'm a strong advocate that women, if you want a job in healthcare, it should be a Monday to Friday thing.
That's right.
It should
Weekends
not
for
be a
children.
shift work. It has to be, if you're in healthcare as a mother, I think the only shift you could possibly be taking is morning from 7 to 3 as a nurse. You should not be doing 16, 17 hours at the expense of your children.
Hmm.
If you leave them with a friend and you know, because the thing is that for me, my rules are just two. If you don't have money to pay for them to be in a licensed professional daycare, then that means you shouldn't take them anyway. I don't mind the odds and end that you want to be like, oh, just this 1 day here, 2 days here, like just random emergency, you have to do something quickly. That's fine. But if it's something that is periodically that you need your child to be in care, put them in a care that in case anything happens, you'll be able to hold them liable.
Correct.
Don't, because of lack of you think, don't don't compromise
Hmm.
or don't over compromise at the expense of your children,
Hmm.
because one of the things that could happen is that nowadays, because especially if you live in a place like Canada where so much things have been legalized, and some of these things they've put them, some of them look like gummies, they
Hmm.
look like regular candy,
Hmm.
they look like things that you see every day that children consume.
Even in drinks these days.
In
Drinks.
drinks, they have them in baked goods and stuff. They call them edibles,
Hmm.
right? So you don't know what your child is gonna get exposed to,
Hmm.
right? So it's important that we know the type of friends we have
Hmm.
and the type of environment we are exposing our own self and the type of environment we are exposing our own children to,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about friendship, We need to examine all of these things. Sometimes, sometimes what happens? Sometimes what happens is that when someone is doing something to somebody, we join and mock the person.
Hmm.
But we don't know that the person who is stirring up that mockery will do the same thing to us. Right?
Correct.
It's like
Correct.
a whole bunch of men who are sitting on the road, like back home, you sit on the road, and then when a lady is passing, they'll be like, "Sss, sss," right? And then you, the girl, you turn around. So if you have a friend who is always young girls, you should know that if you have teenage daughters or
You'll be doing it to them
you
too.
to them too when you're not there.
Mm-hmm.
So what type of friend are you keeping?
Mm-hmm.
What type of friend are you keeping?
Hmm.
Okay. So a friend who always put whenever you're around them, they pressure you to do things that you do not want to do.
Hmm.
And I'm talking to ladies here.
Hmm.
You know that your monthly income is 1,000. Your husband monthly income is also 1,000. Because that your friend has go and buy lace of $500, you are feeling pressure that you must also go buy lace of $500.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, maybe that your friend now, you don't know where she gets her money from.
Hmm.
Your friend go and buy Nissan Murano, latest one. You too, you go and buy Nissan Murano. Do you know where your friend gets their money from? Do you know the type of job your friend does?
Hmm.
You don't know.
Hmm.
Why are you feeling pressured to do that? You know why? In life, you're not in competition with anybody. You came to this world alone.
Hmm.
And when you're leaving, you are living alone.
Hmm.
All the people that I've seen, I've not seen anybody when they were being buried that somebody was buried with them. They went by themselves.
Hmm.
Don't feel the pressure. A friendship that puts pressure on you
Hmm.
to do things that you're not supposed to do,
Hmm.
things that you will not have otherwise agreed to. You don't
Hmm.
want to go to club. They are calling you. You should go to club.
Hmm.
Don't want to drink. Oh, take you are too boring. You are this. Oh, this is not a place for you to now be like acting like you are pastor. You're acting holy, holy. Your friends are going around swinging, and they'll be like, "Oh, come swing with us." Oh, I don't want to swing. They were like, "Oh, you are just being that. You don't know. You are missing out. That's why your marriage is boring. That's why this is boring." Do you know what could happen? People have gotten STDs that are deadly because of bad and evil friendship. Experimenting, telling you different things that you don't know if it's even good for your health.
Hmm.
You don't even know if it's good for you,
Hmm.
right? What type of friend do you have?
Ekwama, you're touching some nerves. you know, we talk about these things and it can be very triggering, but some of the things that have to be said. Ekwama touched on something that I can't even count the number of times I've said this about you watching the people that you invite into your homes. Very recently, one of my sisters and I were having a conversation, and some of the things that back then our parents would laugh about and think that, oh, this particular uncle, he's just being silly. But today, when we thought about it, actually, when my sister and I were discussing it, I was covered with so much rage because there was somebody that was in our midst as young people. Ekuamwa, our parents always dressed us up in long clothes. You're either in jeans, trousers, and a top, or a long dress, or shorts with a top covering your body. This guy comes and he wants to tickle you, and he has to take your top off and like be touching your belly to tickle. It's like, what kind of weird thing is this? And we all laugh about it because we think it's funny, but it's not.
It's
And
not.
then it turned out to be that this man was actually sleeping with his best friend daughter.
Yep.
This man and his best friend, we didn't understand why somewhere along the line The man didn't want this best friend of his in his house again
Anymore.
because the daughter was an adult, young adult. This man was an old man in his 50s, 60s,
Mm-hmm.
giving his wife grief at home, beating her up, and all kinds of cruelty.
Hmm.
And then for the best friend to find out that this man had been grooming his
It's
oldest
okay.
child all along. All this time, he was
Mm.
coming to his house, eating in the same plate with him, chatting, watching TV, not knowing that this pedophile,
Yes, so
that's what he was
yes.
looking at this man because the man had three daughters, was
Mm-hmm.
looking at the older one. And now, because of his oldest daughter, his wife was being subjected to the unthinkable things that you can't even use your mouth to talk about. The people who do these horrific things to us, Ekwamwa, they are sitting right under our
Yes,
noses. They are
yes,
your
yes,
brother's friends, your
yes.
uncles, the people that should be in positions of authority to protect you, girls, are the very people that do these horrific, barbaric things to you. I never advocate for anybody. Ekuamwa, and that's the one of the reasons why I love her so much. I have never heard or seen you tell me that the girls are going for sleepover. I don't think we'll talk anymore if you did that. And I have my reasons, and you know what my reasons are. I never subscribe that anybody should take any kid of yours, be it male or female, to go to sleep over. Do you know what happens in people's houses? Do you know? Do you
And
know that?
you,
Yeah, go ahead. Go
you
ahead.
know what is one of those things I always tell people. I'm like especially because the kids they all and I've spoken to so many friends about this. The kids they always go through that phase when they want to be like, oh, I want to go for sleepover. I want to go for sleepover. I want to go for sleepover. Well, one of the things that you have to really practically think about is that your child goes to school, they're in school with their friend, and they want to go for sleepover at their friend's house. You've literally some of you parents have never even met their parent before,
Hmm, hmm,
right? You
hmm,
don't even know what type of job they do. You don't even know who they are, what type of lifestyle they live, and then you allow them to go,
hmm,
right? And you
hmm,
know what? One of the things that going back, some parents are also overworking themselves. And you know, when I was at the meeting on Monday, the man said the exact same thing because he was there in the morning during the school day. He spoke to 600 children. This is middle school. He spoke to 600 middle schoolers.
hmm.
In the evening, they had a session for the kids. In the evening, they had a session for the parents. Guess how many parents showed up?
100
We were not even up to 20
out of the 600 kids.
out
Mhm,
of the 600 kids.
mm,
So even assuming that every one of those children came from a household of 4 children, it still does not even, the number still does not make sense. He said what? Because parents are just too busy with their lives.
mm.
But if we are all so too busy with our
Why are you having
lives,
children? Why?
our friends are also, the evil friendship amongst us are also watching. And
Hmm,
they're ready, as Sika said, to groom some
hmm,
children
hmm,
and lead them to the place where
hmm,
we don't want them to be. Then
hmm.
after you ask yourself, I've worked so hard, I've done this, done that, but have you made the right friendship? I really want us, have we made the right friendship? Because a good friend will tell you that, you know, I heard you saw you are doing this nursing thing. You know, have you heard about health informatics? Maybe you can go and do that to join this your health. So you can work Monday to Friday or work from home because these your children they are growing, so you'll be able to take care of them, watch them, take them to school, pick them up, take them for this. But a bad friend will call you and say, ah, have you seen the latest Mercedes Benz? Ah, last time I saw that one. Oh. In fact, even me, I put down payment for one. You should probably think about buying one too. Oh. Meanwhile, they know you cannot afford it.
Hmm.
A friend
Hmm.
pressures you to do things that you don't want to do.
Hmm. This whole thing that you were talking about, this whole sleepover thing, you know that there was a family in England, the Kwamwa, who the moms knew each other. They met at the school playground, the school. They go for PTA for the children together. But even then, knowing the mom does not mean you know the home. Does not mean you know the husband. So the children will go for sleepover. She thought, oh, she knew that they all sit, they talk, they've known each other for 3 years. It's fine. The children went over the course of a 3 year period. It turned out that one Friday, the woman had gone out and left the children with her husband. There's nothing wrong with that on the face of it. Went out late, came back at the crack of dawn. And this man has been doing things to his own children and the friends that the girl brings to the house too for 3 years. And has warned them, if you tell, you will die. So these people have all zipped because they're afraid. So when they go there and they go to sleep at night, in the middle of the night, this man goes to their room and does things with them and gets them to do things to him. And then you can't tell anybody about it. Because if you do that, you and your family, you're not going to be here anymore. So the children live in fear. 3 years. They've destroyed your children.
And you know what, Scott? These things that you're saying, these are things that are happening. And they're
Of
happening
course.
all the time. And the sad thing is that most of the time people are finding out about these things, like either this case, the mom finds out about it. And instead of trying to put the kids first to get them help, they also keep quiet and
Mm-hmm.
they allow the perpetrator to continue,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
And they continue to allow the children to be victimized and to be traumatized, right? And these are the things that we have to ask ourselves. And really, I know we're talking about friendship, but look at some of the things that are coming out right now in this conversation, right? What type of friendship do you have? Are they there to protect you? Are they there to protect your interests? Or are they there to help bring you and destroy you? Right?
Mm,
Most of us, we need to be careful. What type of friend do you have? Right? And it really, as we're setting out, and I said this is the last quarter of the year, time for us, some of us, to shed some of the weights.
mm,
You should not be friends with someone because they call you and say, if you, because you tell them, let's go hang out, they are always available. If they are always available, then you're up to no good. How can they always be available? They are no, they are so much time on their hands, means so much time to cause trouble, so much to cause commotion. They have no purpose. And remember, a friendship is supposed to bring about purpose.
mm,
In the Bible, when Paul got saved and then he was being introduced to the disciples, and the disciples were not they had like, the guy that was going around killing all of us, how should we accept you now? How do we know you are? The Bible said it was Barnabas.
mm,
Barnabas was the one that stood in
mm,
for Paul.
mm,
A friend is supposed to be like Barnabas, one that even when the world has rejected you, they know that you've called you evil, they do everything. And Barnabas will be able to pick you up and make you be acceptable.
mm,
But some of us, we have friends that when we turn our back, everything, like the story you were telling about the lady, that how the boyfriend came and the friend did all of that. You know, it's important that you have friends who are there to applaud you, who are
mm,
there to know that today this is your stage. So allow you to be on your own stage. Allow you to be able to build your self worth, not the one that pulls the rag from under your feet, not the one that's willing to come into your house to take advantage of your children, not the one that wants to leave you to destruction,
Mm.
not the one that wants to lead you to a place where, do you know that there's some friends that they will even tell you, oh, what church do you go to? Oh, that church. Ah, then they will start saying all sorts of negative things. Meanwhile, they've never even been to that church. They've
Mm-hmm.
never worshipped there. Because
Mm-hmm.
somebody said this, that one
Mm.
said this, that one
Mm.
said that,
Mm.
right? They will say like it. We all gotta be careful. People will always tell you based on their own experience.
Correct.
So it's important that you always discern information. You always research information. You always go and look into information and say, hey, is this the right information? There's nothing wrong with double checking your information.
Hmm.
And one of the things is that you should never feel the need that you need to walk on eggshells around your friend.
Hmm.
If you are in a friendship where you walk on eggshell around your friend, then it's time for you to pack that friendship and say, it's not a friendship. It's an emotionally abusive relationship.
Mm-hmm.
We are so quick to talk about relationship between a man or woman or whoever, but we never, never, never talk about our own relationship with our friends.
Mm-hmm.
We are walking on eggshells because they can burst into anger, right? They you cannot be your own self. You can't be yourself because they are wearing red. You must also wear red. Meanwhile, red does not even suit you. It's not your color. But you start wearing red. They go and join a group. By force, you have to go and join the group. If you are in a friendship, you should
Hmm.
be able to be who you are, have your own self identity.
Correct.
Your identity is not tied into that friendship.
Correct.
Your identity is not tied into that friendship. So if you're a parent, you're also listening to us, teach your children that they have their own identity. Their friends also have their own identity. So
That's right.
they'll be able to know that my friend is supposed to compliment me. The two of us, we are not the same. David, he's a warrior. Jonathan, he's a prince. Two different people, two different paths. His father's choice led to his own death, right? You know, David was appointed and he did many great things, right? So allow yourself to know that because your friend is yellow, your friend is bleaching, so you two start bleaching. Why? You are dark. You are darker than Sika and I. And then your friend, your friend is like Sika and I's color. We ourselves, for us, if we start bleaching, people will not be able to tell because we are chocolate color, so we'll not have black knuckles. But then you are dark like charcoal, and because your friend who is like my color starts using a smoothing cream, whatever they call it, you join force and you do the same. Now your whole skin looks very funny, right? You start smelling. Your friend is a like so much things. We got to be very careful because if
Yes.
you don't take time, you go and do things that you're not supposed to do,
Correct.
and in the end, you sacrifice so much things, so much things, and you end up losing, right? That is not what friendship is supposed to be. Friendship is supposed to make you feel secure about yourself.
Correct.
It's supposed to help you for make you happy. It's supposed to bring happiness. Some of you, your friends are bad. You're still taking, allowing your children to be going to their house. You heard what Sika shared.
Hmm.
Be careful.
Mm.
Your friends are up to no good,
Hmm.
and yet you allow them. You go on trips with them. You do this to them. Because you want association. You want a
Mm.
sense of belonging.
Mm.
You see, you know all the things that they are up to, They are what do you call it? They're doing hookups, but you're still friends with them. Next time they will tell you, "Oh, let's go to a party." Next, you know, you end up being joined on the hookup. Tika, did you hear the story that happened a few weeks ago about one Ghana girl that said she wants to go visit a friend, and next you know she has a what do you call it? Video of herself doing adult content,
I'm not surprised.
and this so-called friend is now was using it to now blackmail her.
Uh-huh.
So she went to the friend's house, and apparently the friend is there with her boyfriend too, or husband, whatever it is. Somehow between them drinking and doing whatever, they ended up doing recorded adult content. I'm talking to people here. Who are
Hmm.
your friends?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
It said, "Blessed is a man who does not walk in the counsel of the ungodly,
Yes,
nor sit in the seat of the scornful."
correct.
Who is your friend?
Hmm.
And you have to know the type of friends you keep. As a mother, as a father, you are somehow indirectly, have children, you're listening to us, indirectly exposing your children. So choosing friendship when you are a parent is very critical, it's very crucial, and it's very important.
Hmm.
Some of us we need to leave some friends behind. It's not every friend that you're supposed to carry to the end. Some of them we have to drop them on the way. That is life. Life is like that. So, who are your friends? Are your friends enriching your life? Are they increasing your sense of belonging? Are they making you happy? And are they helping you to build your self confidence and self worth? Are they encouraging you, seeing good traits in you and saying, "Hey, you can do this. I know you can do that. You know, I saw this thing here, and I think that if you register and join, you know, from the little things that you've been doing here, you know, your friend is a good cook, is a good baker, but you're busy with work and everything. You're like, oh, but you know what? I've seen this community kitchen where everybody can join and they can just, you know, present some of their food, and you pass that information on to you so that you can develop yourself. Do you have that type of friend, or the only friend that you have is the one that calls you to say, let's go to party, let's go and meet men, let's go clubbing, let's do this? What type of friend do you have? So I want all of us to think about this little discussion that we have, and the most important thing that I want everybody to take away with us is the type of friendship you have now, if you're a mother, if you're a father, can affect your children.
Hmm.
We heard the story, you know, you think you have a friend, you're going to go leave your children for. Somehow, your children, they are there. Sometimes they're being exposed to graphic adult content. Graphic adult content. It happens, right? So we all got to be careful. And unfortunately, some children they might see those graphic content and they'll be okay. Some children are so curious, they're so inquisitive that they might want to experiment. By the time you know, they
Hmm.
are calling you, "K, K, 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 K." Your child went to school and they went to go this, do this and that. Be like, ah, me in this house, my children, I didn't bring my children up like that. But you forgot. You didn't bring them up like that in your own home. You don't have such things in your own home. But the other home that you allowed them to go, right? The other home they allow them to go to, right? So let's all be cautious. What type of friend do you keep? And Scott, I will end here.
Before we wrap up, please spend some of the time just putting your details, your contact details, and all the stuff that we need about AEJF on here, and just post it in the comment section, and I'll highlight that. But as we wrap up here, the things that I've picked up from this conversation today, I've talked about confidant. Always have a friend that challenges your thought process. If you're in a group of friends, I've said this several times that I have different types of friends for different things. That's not to say any of my friends are bad friends, but I'm just saying that I have different type of friends. You can't, no, but not just everybody can be in your inner caucus. That's just life. Ekuamwa may be in my inner caucus. I may not be in hers, because we all have different things that we bring to the table for each other. The thing is, what is your purpose in this person's life? And what is this person's purpose in my life? Know who you are and accept your individuality and know who you are as an individual. The fact that somebody is doing something doesn't mean I have to do it. I drink, so Ikuamwa has to drink. Ikuamwa goes out, so I also have to go out. We're all different people, raised up differently from different backgrounds, and we do things differently. Just understand that. And have friends who challenge your thought process. Hey, sis, this thing, are you really sure? And listen. Listen as well. Some of us think that, oh, but I'm older than this one, or I'm younger than this one, or this one is older than me. What can she possibly know to teach me? It's not about age. It's got nothing to do with age at all. The wisdom that God has given, or the person that God chooses to speak to us, they're different. Even my 6-year-old niece, I learn things from every day. This girl floored me a few days back to find out that Pluto is no longer a planet in the solar system.
No, stop.
It's been downgraded. But I did science, 25 years ago, where Pluto was a planet.
Yes, information changes. Yeah.
You learn things all the time. You learn things, different things all the time. Imagine that I didn't listen to my niece. She talks to me. Oh, auntie, I went to school today. I learned about generosity and I learned about sharing. We talk every day. You learn from everybody. So this whole thing about what can this child possibly teach me? You're learning things from your own child all the time. The other thing I want to talk about is, your friends making you happy. Who do you de-stress with? Have somebody that you can be you to without putting up any blinds or, faking anything. You can just say it as it is, and you can just be friends with them just the way you are. Then know you for you. And finally, iron sharpen iron. Very big one. Iron sharpen iron. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man. One of the Bible quotations that I've known from infancy, but the end thereof is total destruction. This friend that I have, do we align? Do we even go? I'm going this way. She's going that way. She's loose. I'm not. Can we even be friends? Ask yourself those relevant questions. These things we're talking about, it's not just for children or young people. It's for we fully grown adults with gray hair are the people we're addressing here. Because the friends you make, the company you keep, it influences your thought process. We've talked about friendship, and I'm linking it to influence. That's how it influences what you do. Anything that you hear over and over and over and over again, you start living it. That is the truth. Show me your friend, I'll show you my character. Simple as that. So, Kwama, what are your last words as we leave?
Well, my last words, based on what you were just saying, I just really want to also let everybody know this is the age of information. Okay, when you're talking about Pluto not being a planet, this is an age of information, and one of the things that you have to know is that everything that you have learned, sometimes you have to unlearn and relearn, right? So it's important that we understand that part of life where, let me decline. Sorry, Scott. The call was coming. Sorry. It's important that we understand that we unlearn some of the things that we have learned, right? In order for us to progress, because this society, and I cannot stress this enough, okay? Parents, be aware or the type of friends. I know Sika put it in there, that Romeo boyfriend. This is a very crucial thing. Wherever you're living in this any part of the world, it's happening in Ghana. Last time I saw a very sad story of one girl who was victimized. She and her friends they went to Legon, and now I think there were four friends. Three of them are dead. She's the only one that's alive, and she should just tell her story,
Hmm,
right?
hmm,
So let's be cautious. This friendship thing, let's take it serious. It's a destiny changer. It can prevent us from being who God has called us to be. Remember, friendship is supposed to what? Help you fulfill your purpose. So anything that takes you out of alignment of your purpose is something you need to get rid of. And don't be afraid to walk out on friendship. For me, like me, for example, if you're my friend and you don't feel like you want to be my friend anymore, in fact, if you like, block me. I don't even care because I don't sleep and think about it.
hmm,
Because I have so much things that I have doing that I
hmm,
don't even have time,
hmm,
right? It's
hmm,
your own choice. Walk your own road. That is your own life, right? Because at the end of the day, the person who is the giver of life is God.
hmm,
God is the ultimate. He's your friend, right? He's your friend. And then the next thing is everybody else around us, we have to examine, right? Yes, you have bad days as friends, but the bad days should not be every moment. You don't have to always walk on elk shells. You don't have to be afraid to speak your mind. You don't have to be in a friendship where someone is always jealous of you or they always want to be the one on the stage and they don't want you to ever be on the stage. They always want to be the one to be applauded. They never want you to be applauded. No, you also have your own lights. You also have your own place that you also have to be. So it's important that we understand what friendship is.
hmm.
And as we learn it, we also now pass it on to the next generation. So it's important, please, parents, go back and listen to the part that Sika discussed about the sleepover. It's very important that we understand and know where our children are going. And sometimes, Sika, let me even interject and say this last thing. Sometimes your child comes home from school, they'll be like, oh, I'm going to hang out with this my friend, right? And they'll go for hours. You don't know what's going on. It doesn't even have to be sleepover. You don't know what's going on in that friend's house, right? So it's important that we know all these things, right? Let's keep an eye. We need to know. We need to know all of these things
Hmm.
because we don't want them to be experience trauma because sometimes trauma can also lead to addiction,
Yes.
right? Trauma can lead to addiction. So it's important that we don't want to watch over them as hawks.
No.
But at the same time, we, as I said, the type of friendship you keep, your children are also looking and they will emulate that,
Correct.
right? So you
Correct.
want to make sure that you stay in healthy friendships so that your child will also learn to be in healthy friendships as well. And I will end here.
Ekwamwa, thank you so much. But before you go, guys, as I said from the very beginning, please, please, my sister is very passionate about the next generation. We all have our different gifts and talents. This is hers. If you love me any ounce and you have children, whether they live abroad or not, I don't care. Please follow this page, this platform. It's a worthy cause. There's so many good things. In fact, me, I want to become a child again so I can join some of the classes. I'll be the oldest person in the class, but it doesn't matter because some of the things that they're learning, the robotics, this, that, wow. I wish I had the ability to do all of those things and also get the latest information about what's going on today. Please Join, 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 follow, 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 and invite other people to the platform.
And send Sika some stars, please. Send her
Mm,
some stars. Show
mm,
her some love as well.
mm,
Okay.
mm.
And share this. We're back every Sunday. Please put us on your calendar. We're going to be here sharing a lot of interesting information. We want everyone to be educated because education leads to transformation, and transformation will lead to greatness. So it's important that share, subscribe to Sika's YouTube channel. Please try as much as you can to do your rewatch on Sika's YouTube channel. We want Sika's YouTube channel to really go up, please, and subscribe as well to her YouTube channel.
Thank you so much, Ekwamwa. If you want to go, you are released. I know you have a busy day. I can see people calling you, so you can go if you
Okay.
need to. Okay? We
You
love you.
have a great week.
Bye. Yeah. Guys, as we wrap this up here about friendship and influence, there's just a few things. She started talking about them. And as I said before, please, if you love me, please follow my sister on Facebook. AEJF is the name. Very simple on Facebook. If you need to contact her, I've put her email and she has a website as well. Please, please, please help me help her, and let's all benefit, especially our children. If you live in the Alberta, Calgary, Airdrie area, please, I beg you, and let's do big and great things for our children. Those of us who are Ghanaian on this platform, who sometimes want to hear our local dialect, Chi, or shall I say one of the local dialects, Chi, where we say a lot of things and explain and break things down for people to actually understand it on a whole new level. There's a whole new page, a platform that has recently been opened where there will be an amazing guest speaker or pilot and co-pilot on this platform where we discuss health issues, lifetime issues, experiences out of life in the local dialect so that we can all share our experiences in a secure, comfortable way and express ourselves in that language. That is different from here because this is an English speaking platform. Some people don't really understand the full extent of what is being said. If you want that, I am directing you to a page, a new platform, which is called Balanced Cellular Health. You would see a human head with blue, with all sorts of fancy things going on there. Balanced Cellular Health. And there's a hyphen, Power of Wealth. We'll talk about health issues, life issues, relationship issues, all kinds of things that all feed into our health and wellness as a human being. Go to that platform. I'll put the link to it in the comment section when I'm off here, and go and subscribe to that channel. Follow that channel on Facebook, and very soon we'll start doing our live videos on that platform. Support AEJF. I've said that. If you send remittances to your loved ones back home in Africa, the only one to use here is Tap Tap Send. You can download it on your Android phone. You can put it on your iPhone and use the promo code AKUSIKA as it's shown on the bottom of the screen. It keeps rolling back and forth, and send your remittances to your loved ones back home. If you use this promotional code and you live in the States or in Canada, you get an extra $15 in addition to whatever you're sending on your first the first amount that you're sending to your family. The remittance that you're sending to your family. If you live in Europe, it's €5, and in the United Kingdom, it's £5. The last thing that I want to say here before I leave is that this power or ability to be able to discern and see beyond the physical and look into people before you accept them or tolerate them around you is something that is very powerful, because there's so many people walking around as wolves in sheepskin. There are a lot of friendships on social media and otherwise Before you start drawing people closer to yourself into your inner caucus, make sure that you know them. By their fruits, they shall be known. And the last thing I'll say is that if you talk to anybody about something, or you're discussing something with somebody, and all the person is doing is telling you private information about somebody else to you, and telling you, don't tell anybody, this is a secret, this person told me this, but I'm just telling you. Just also know that when you also tell them something, they also go and tell somebody and tell that somebody not to tell anyone, because they haven't been able to harness this thing of when somebody tells you something is private and confidential, then that is what it is. A word to the wise is enough. Once bitten, twice shy. We all give these things based on experiences that we've had, painful experiences that we've had. A word to the wise is enough. I love you all so much. This week is going to be something else on this platform. A lot of interesting conversations and discussions and things for us all to learn as we continue this journey of education. I love you all. Thank you so much for your continued support, your shares, your likes, your stars, your follows. Keep them coming. And even when you replay, please share the video on your personal profile page. There's somebody that needs to hear the things that we discuss here so that they can make the necessary corrections in their lives and become better people. Don't be selfish. I love you. Have a great week ahead. Bye. I love you guys so much. You are amazing. You really, truly are. Bye.